Hello, welcome to our next part in creating our video game in Scratch. And so what you need to do is log back into scratch.mit.edu, and hopefully you have everything saved from last time. So click See Inside, and I'll quickly show you what we've done just in case you're watching this video out of order. So we have a driver, we have game logo, we have game name, and we have the sprite one, which actually I think I'm going to call the play button, because that's what we're using it for. And in the driver, you should have this code here. I'll just zoom in a little bit so you can see. Okay, basically all this does is it does that. It moves the driver across the screen. In the game logo, you should have this code here. This just makes the logo appear. Okay, and the ghost effect is used to make it start hidden and then slowly appear. And then on the platform racer, it's basically hiding it and only showing it when the start menu is coming up. And the play button does the same sort of thing. Zoom in a little bit here. The only difference being is, or one of the big differences, when you click it and the sprite's clicked, then broadcast level 1. So we've been already talking about using the broadcast system to control going from one step to the other. And if you go to the backdrop, actually we have when you receive the broadcast start menu or level 1, or when the green flag is clicked, we're changing to the next backdrop. So we're going from the logo screen to the start menu to level 1. So your whole game should look like this. I'll just go on a slightly larger screen here. It should look like when you click the green flag, your person drives across. It says platform racer. Your logo came up in the first screen, and now when you click this green arrow, it goes to your level 1, which is blank right now, which is okay. So today I want to show you some animation of the vehicle in level 1, and we'll just see how far we get here. We want to get the vehicle looking like it's driving, and in the start here, where it actually goes across the screen, it more or less is going across, but we're going to actually animate it a little bit more, so it gives the illusion that it's moving even when it's not moving. So I'll explain more of that. Let's go to the costume of this vehicle, and here I've drew in myself. This is me apparently, and I've kept it in vector mode, and that is just to help. It's easier to animate anyway. If you went to bitmap mode, it's going to be harder because you have to redraw things. So I have just the convertible itself, and I have myself in the convertible, and I want to create a couple more of these, but with the wheels turned slightly. And then if I cycle through those, the nice thing about it is it'll look like the car or the vehicle is actually, the wheels are actually spinning. So let's do that first. So what I'm going to do here is duplicate. If you right click on your convertible to duplicate, or whatever number it's called, and actually I'm going to delete this first one because I have it here. If I needed to get back to that car, I could easily upload it. So I'm going to delete that one. So I have first me in the car, and then me in the car again, exact same copy. And what I'm going to do here is, I think I'll make 3 copies. I'll duplicate one more time. Well, yeah, I'll duplicate one more time. So take the second one, and we're going to change the wheels. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay. Hopefully you can see this. I'm zooming into one wheel. Now there is a couple ways to do this. We could actually make the wheel sprite a separate sprite, and we could just spin the wheel all by itself. But I'm going to suggest that the best way I mean, that could be a fine way, and then just keep the wheel and the car together. But what we're going to try to do here is just have the wheel spin. So how are we going to, we need to just select just the wheel. That'll take probably a few times because there's a green thing, kind of shadow behind it, so we don't want to include that. So this could get tricky. There we go, I think I have it all. And then we just want to spin it. So the nice thing is, how far do we want to spin? Let's just spin a quarter turn, about. And let's do the same thing with this wheel too. Now these wheels, there's a bit of a problem with these wheels, and they are not, they are really oval shaped. But I think it'll be okay. It'll just look like it's a rough road or something like that. Okay, so we spun both the wheels, a quarter turn. And now if we zoom out again and we toggle from one to the next, you can see the wheels have gone up like that. Okay. I think actually I'm going to make one more copy. So don't copy the one that you just modified. Copy the other one. We'll duplicate that one more time, because if we're doing quarter turns, let's may as well do the whole thing. And do it each stage. Okay, so now this one. This is so I have the first one that's fine, the second one that's been spun a quarter turn. Now we're going to spin this one a half turn. So I'm going to take it again, just the wheel, rotate that a half turn. Is that a half turn? I'm just going to press Control Z. Okay. Rotate it a half turn, there's a half turn. Okay, and then I'll do the same thing here. Take this, rotate it a half turn. Okay, and then the last one, we're actually going to take these wheels and rotate it 3/4 of a way. So we're going to go wherever this hand is, we're going to bring it up to here, and then one more quarter. Okay. And I think it'll look different. I think this and this will look different enough, yeah, that I think it'll give the right illusion. So now you have 4 different convertible pictures, and the difference between them is the wheels are rotating a quarter each time. Now let's see how that would look to animate that. So if you're going to go to Code, to animate that, we want to actually just cycle between costumes. So there's a thing, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 costumes, and they're all numbered that way. They have actually convertible 2, 4, 3, 5, so that's kind of weird. I actually might rename these just so that, maybe I'll call it convertible 1, convertible 2, convertible 3, and convertible 4. Okay, just so that it's makes sense. And they're actually 1, 2, 3, and 4, the numbers that associate with them. So I can show you actually quite simply. I'm going to just scroll this up here. How we might have them spin around. So first thing I'm going to show it, and then I want to let's go 10 times, repeat 10 times, and we're just going to go to the next costume. So that's under the Looks tab, next costume. Don't want to attach that. So if I click this, of course my guy is way over there. Alright, so if I click this, you can see right here. Actually, let me put a different control thing on him. If you go under Events tab, when space key is pressed, and I'll just move this over so you can see it. When space key is pressed, show repeat 10 times next costume. Now if I press the space key, you can see the wheels here. And I'm just going to show this a little larger. Oh, I can't move it except in that window. Okay, so you can kind of see the wheels spinning here, which is kind of cool. Also looks like the car moves a little bit here. Whether it's actually moving or not, it looks like it, which is fine. That's what just look like the engine is a little rough in this vehicle. But the wheels are kind of moving kind of fast there. So if you want a bit of a delay, you can go to control, wait 1 second, put that in just after the next costume, and 1 second is obviously going to be too slow, like you can see. This is too slow. So maybe a 0.05 might be a more appropriate time. Yeah, that's kind of nice. So here we go. Looks like the wheels are spinning a little bit. You know what? Since we did a quarter turn, like it almost looks like they don't spin because there's a spoke on every quarter. I'm kind of regretting doing the quarter now, but anyway, because I think if I would have been not as precise with my quarters, these little spokes would not line up so nice. I'm not sure if I'll change that or not. Anyway, it'll be okay, I think. I might, if I have extra time, I might change that on my own, or I can show you how to change that. But it'd just be a matter of going back into the car costumes, going to these, selecting the wheels, and just spinning them a little bit off like that, just so they don't line up perfect. Like even, yeah. Even that might help the animation a little bit. And then maybe I'll do that with this one too. I'll go back. Let's go. I'm going to tilt them forward a bit. So now, yeah, that looks a little better because now it looks more random inside there. Okay. Maybe on yours it worked out the first time. So when do I want this to happen? Well, I kind of want this to happen actually at the very start, where when it's driving across. And so that's actually when the green flag, if you can see here, the green flag is clicked. And so I'm going to take out the space key, and I'm going to go to events and bring in the green flag. So now when I press the green flag, you can see, I'll just move my person here, you can see it rolling across, but you can also see that around this spot the wheels stop. So stop rotating. So it'd be better if this would repeat maybe 25 times, just a guess, but yeah, that looks better. Okay. Alright, so we animated the wheels. Alright, now let's go into level 1. Now level 1, I want to show you how to do the illusion of driving by, and that'll probably be the end of this video. And okay, so we go to the backdrops, and you'll notice that level 1 here, let me just click on this. Level 1 is just blank, which is actually what you want. Now I don't know if I'll end up sticking with this orange peach color, but I think actually this blue might be nicer because then it's more like sky. But you want just a blank thing. You might want to have some ground on it though too. So I'm actually going to throw some ground on this, and again the color of it doesn't matter too much right now. So I think I'll just make it like a dark black. And I'm making triangles and I want them filled, and when I do that I can make a rectangle here of any size here, but I'm going to make it so that it starts around here and it covers the ground, so right, and then I'm going to stretch it, so, but I don't want to stretch it like that. I want to stretch it like this across the stage, and maybe down a little. Well, that's not bad. That's not a bad height. Okay. So hopefully, now it looks like it didn't get quite to the edge. There we go. Okay, so it's covering the edge there. It's a bit, this rectangle is a bit bigger than the screen, so it should be good. Now, yeah, there it is. So when, oh, here's a problem though. If I go back to this guy. Oh no, his wheels aren't black. But anyway, the black road I might want to change because it's just too dark. Might want to change it to silver. That can be done, if we go to stage, it can be done quite easily by clicking on the paint and changing the fill color to more of a gray here. So maybe I'll do that right now. Okay. Okay, so now I have a blank sky with a road, and the reason why we want a blank sky is because we actually want to put things into the sky like clouds and things on the ground like trees that move. And here's the beauty of this, and basically it's an illusion, is we can put the driver right in the middle or maybe to the side a little bit, have it animate as though it's turning, as though it's moving, and then trick people into thinking that it actually is moving. And actually a lot of your video games are like that, where the main character stays right in the middle of the screen, doesn't actually move, but it looks like that it's moving because everything, the background, everything around it is moving. So we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to go to the driver here, and we're going to put in some new code. When I receive, so go to events, when I receive level 1, then we're going to tell it to go to location and show. So first I'm going to say show because I don't know where this, and I'll click on it. Oh, there it is. The drama. I want it to appear right about here, maybe. Okay, maybe there. Something like that. And to give it the illusion that it's actually driving, we need to animate it. So I'm going to actually take this. You can duplicate this. I'm going to show you what I did there. So when I receive level 1, show repeat 25 times. Next costume, wait. This repeat 25 times. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to switch it to forever. And we'll probably end up changing this forever eventually, but now this car just animates the whole time. And yeah, I don't know, one of these sprites must be slightly out of line, although my hair, top of the hair doesn't move. But anyway, it's good. Looks like it's actually driving right now, but it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Okay, so I'll show you how. I'll press stop here, and the way to make it look like it's moving is we need an object that normally doesn't move in real life to move. And then it'll make this object, which is a car, which normally moves, it'll make it look like it's the thing moving. Because our brain doesn't want a tree to move, it wants the car to move. So let's create a new sprite. Actually, I wonder if there is a tree here or something like that. Some kind of object that would not normally move. Like a tree or a house or a lamppost. Are these just letters all the way down here? Yeah, okay. Okay, so, oh, here's trees. Here's a tree right here. Nice. Tree 1. Oh, hopefully we get our signal back. Okay, so let's try that again. We're going to choose a tree. Letter T. Good. Okay. So the tree goes, it's a very large tree, and we can resize it at any time. Down here it says size 100. We can change it to 50, for instance. And now it's a very small tree, maybe 75. Okay. Anyway, you can also leave it at 100, it's fine. But now you want to plant the tree in the ground, not on top here. That won't give the right illusion. We need to think that the tree's in the ground. So I'm going to just put it in the ground slightly. And we're going to have it start kind of out of the screen here. So I'm going to put it out something like that. Okay. And then I'm going to go to my motion tab, and I'm going to tell it to go to that location. And first thing I guess I should do is go to events. When the green flag is clicked, Again, I'll make this larger. When the green flag is clicked, we want this thing to hide. Okay, so when the logo and the start menu come up, we don't want a tree there. And then when I receive level 1, it's under the events tab. When I receive level 1, then we go to that location. And then we're going to have it go across the screen, but we're going to have it actually go in this direction, like that, across the screen. And when we do that with the car staying stationary, but the tree moving this way, it'll make it look like actually the car is moving. So, how do we have it go across the screen? We go to the repeat or control thing. We're going to go a repeat until, and we're actually going to repeat until it gets to about this location here, something like that. And so look, just you can see what its X and its Y is. The X is around -270. So this is where we come up with the motion tab. Scroll down to X position. Okay, bring that out, and we go to operators. It's a green tab, and we take out the one that says when it's less than 50. Put that in together, and instead of 50, we're going to go less than. Let's go less than -250 for now. We might go all the way to 270, but we'll just see, and then put that in there. All right. So this, I know these are all new things that we haven't done before, but hopefully you can always rewind the video to see how that was done. Okay, then we're going to connect here, and what we want to do until the tree is less than -250, meaning on this side of the -250 line, is we want it to slowly move towards that line. So we're going to go to motion, and we're going to change X by 10. We'll bring that in here, and change X by 10 would actually move it in this direction. So we're going to just make it change X by negative, and actually, well, let's do 10. Let's just see how that looks. So when I click on this, I can see that it moves across the screen, and actually the tree, let's go all the way to -270. Now if your tree is still the same size, 100% the same size, you may want to change this value and just see where it fits in. But here, this is now my tree going across the screen. Now when it gets there, that's this position here, then I want to then I want it to actually disappear and jump back here at some point. So I'm going to have a tree that jumps around and around. So I'm going to go to the looks. I'm going to go to the hide. Okay. Oh, and one thing here up here, after I go to that location, I should show. So put in the show and the hides. I want to hide, and then I want to actually go back to this location. And so what I'm going to do, for now anyway, I'm going to put forever across all of this. So just be careful, don't put it just randomly in anywhere. Put it at the very top, and it should go around the whole thing. Alright, so let's see what this does. So now the tree goes there, and then it looks like maybe a new tree comes in. Now, you might not be too confused about this tree. You might be like, yeah, that's the exact same tree all the time. And so to give it a bit of a illusion that maybe it's a different tree, let's press stop there. We're actually going to put in a wait. After the hide, we're going to put in a wait. Now 1 second still is kind of predictable. It goes away, then a new tree comes. If we put a little bit of a randomness in this 1 second, so I'll press stop, go to operators, pick random 1 to 10, bring that out and put that where the 1 second is. So pick random 1 to, let's say, 3. You don't really want it to be very long. 3 seconds is a long time actually in a video game. So it's probably too long to wait, but let's just put 1 to 3. Oh, I guess I started the whole thing. Okay, so now we have a tree that goes across and it randomly appears. Okay. Now I've noticed that I think my code here got, yeah, looks like my code here got deleted in that glitchy time. So I'm going to go and redo that, and hopefully I do it the exact same. I move my character about there. so I want to, when I receive level 1, I want to go to location. Let's go to motion, go to XY. We actually want to do all of this really, so I'm going to duplicate that and show, and here I think I put forever. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So maybe I'll save it now in case it glitches out again and doesn't save my stuff. Alright, so let's run this program again. So we play it, and you can see now that it now looks like the car is actually driving, because obviously a tree cannot move. Okay. One last thing I'd like to do to make the illusion nice. We will be putting clouds in the sky, and we'll move the clouds at a slower speed than the tree. You'll notice this, that if you drive on the highway, the things that appear to be going really fast by you are the things that are closer to you. So the tree is closer, but the clouds are far into the sky, and so they should go across the sky really slowly. And actually, to make that illusion, it's quite easy. Maybe I'll do it right now. If we have, let me choose a sprite. Do we have clouds in here? Or do I have to make them? Yeah, perfect. Cloud and clouds. Oh, that's a fancy one. I'm just going to use the normal cloud. And let me just show you how you would do this. You actually do it basically the same way as a tree. Oh, and here's a nice tip for you here. You can copy and paste the code from one sprite to another, and we're going to do that for the tree to the cloud by just clicking on it, holding on to it, and dragging it over to the actual thing. So I want to go to cloud and drop it there. And now if I go to cloud, you'll see that that code is actually in there. Okay, so I'm going to do that with this one when I receive level 1. Put that, this is from the tree going to the cloud, dropped it in there, and now in the cloud, yeah, you have that, you have this code as well. So now why would I do that? Because for the cloud I want to use the exact same code, except for these parameters, like where the X and the Y are going to change. I'm going to start having a cloud right about there, something like that. So I go to the motion, and that is a different value than this one here. So this one gets a little bit tricky to move around, but if you take, in order to get rid of this thing here, this go to XY, I have to take the show off it, and then throw that out, throw that in, throw the show back on. Okay. And again, I'm not sure how far we want to go with this. Let's say we go, the cloud goes to there before disappearing. Well, that's negative 290, so instead of negative 270, I'm going to go 290. Okay, now changing X by 10, negative 10, that's how fast the tree moves, so you know the cloud should go a lot slower. Let's go minus 2. Let's just try that, see what happens. Okay, that might be all I need to do to make this thing work. Yeah, so there we are, we're driving down. Clouds are moving, the tree moves a little faster. So it gives an illusion of almost a little bit of 3D depth. But again, you know this vehicle is not actually moving forward physically. It's actually the trees and the clouds are moving the opposite direction. One last thing we're going to add in here, and that is some engine noise. So we might end up muting this engine noise later, but right now we'll put some in. And so go to sounds, and what is this? Oh yeah, that's the flyby. Okay, so we're gonna actually, we don't want to delete this because we are using that, but we want to just choose another sound, and hopefully there's one called engine. Yes, there is. What does it sound like? Okay, perfect. Okay, I like the end of it, so actually we're gonna do that. So if you see this, okay, what I like is the end of it here. I do like the start too. It'd be nice to actually have this play at the start and then just this part at the end. So actually I'm going to do that. I'm going to duplicate this engine sound. So we have engine and then engine 2. And engine 2 we're going to edit a bit. So I think we can just select, I think we'll just select this. Maybe we select this and then delete it. Yes. Now what does it sound? Okay, that's excellent. So that's just the engine. I'm going to call this one engine go, and the other one is just engine start. Okay. And so if I go to my code, I go to sounds, I want the engine to, where should I have this? I can do a separate one. When I receive, when space key is pressed, no, I don't want that. I want when I receive level 1, I'm going to have the engine go, and actually I'm going to say play sound until done, as opposed to just play sound. So this will play it until it's done before running the next line of code, and the next line of code will be the engine go. So this one should be the engine start, and then the engine go. And the engine go I actually want to continue to play forever, unless we may put a mute button in here so that you don't have to listen to it if you don't want to. So I'm just going to put forever around here. Oh, and I think this is going to have to be until done as well, otherwise I'll just continually try to start playing it. So let's put that until done. Okay. Let's hear what that looks. Let's look what that. That's good. And there it goes, driving down the highway. Alright, and in the next part we'll take a look at creating some sort of gameplay. I'd like it to be actually more of a platform type game, so maybe we won't be using trees as the markers, or we still can, but in a world where there's different levels and we can jump, so I'll be showing you how to do that sort of thing. Alright, see you soon.